We're back. For real this time. I've been out all week from the pregame show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I know you've missed me. Fill in the first 2 days for one Bonte Hill. Check that. For one Joe Shasky, who's joining Bonte Hill in studio today. He's been remote the last couple days, so I've been helping out. Sam wasn't feeling great. Had to play double duty in the back, as Sam's done for me many a times. So now I'm back today. We got all hands on deck for a massive Sunday night football matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. That's what we're going to be talking about all freaking day. We got Mike Tirico, 720 Morning Roast. He's going to be calling the game alongside Chris Collinsworth for NBC. Cannot wait for that interview. Mike Tirico, a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the NFL. Hell, we might even ask a World Series question to him. Why? Well, the World Series starts tonight, folks. Dodgers, Yankees from Los Angeles. Garrett Cole, Flaherty. Oh, I thought it was going to be Yamamoto, but I guess not. Flaherty's their guy that they're going with today? No, there's too much star power to be scoffing at this matchup tonight. And there's so much to watch now that you got the NBA, and it's going to be just a free-for-all this weekend when it comes to the sports viewing habits of everyone here. Maybe not everyone. And then there's going to be some rooting habits specifically for the Yankees, I'm sure, here in the Bay Area. But you're going to be watching, whether it's to hate the Dodgers, hate the Yankees, whoever you hate. You're going to be hate watching that series. But I'm going to appreciate it because I get to watch the two best players in the game right now go head-to-head. That's Aaron Judge. That's Shohei Ohtani. And yes, they're not, Shohei's not pitching to Aaron Judge, although that would be pretty sweet. And Dave Roberts ruled that out, by the way, manager of the Dodgers, saying that Shohei Ohtani will not pitch in the World Series. He has been rehabbing, but it's just not quite there yet for Shohei. That would have been something. But no, you'll just see him in his 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in the regular season. And that guy just doing what he does best right now, just being on fire. Mookie Betts, yeah. Freddie Freeman, Giancarlo Stanton, a lot of star power here. Cannot wait to watch all that start tonight, 5 o'clock. Before the show ends, maybe I'll give my prediction. Maybe, if you're lucky. But I want you to get involved in the show at 888-957-9570 because this game for the 49ers could make or break the season. And I got a feeling, I'm not going Black-Eyed Peas, but I got a feeling they're going to blow this team out. And I know you're saying Spadoni had a feeling last week that the Niners were going to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, but this would actually make sense. If you're picking the Cowboys to win this game, I just want to know why. There's no logical reason to take the Dallas Cowboys in this matchup. Now, if you would have told me that Micah Parsons was going to play, that, okay. Maybe you think Micah comes back and he's a game wrecker and that saves the season for the Cowboys. Sure. Still seems a little far-fetched, but I could kind of believe it. Micah Parsons is not going to play. At least that's what it's trending towards. So no Micah Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence. That defensive line is thin. They don't have a great run defense. They're asking their secondary, which is supposed to be their biggest strength, to make a lot of tackles because their linebacking core is not great. And they're whiffing on the tackles. There is soft defense right now. And offensively, it's CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson, and that's kind of it. Their offensive line isn't what it used to be. Still decent, but it's not great. Like, this is a game the 49ers should dominate on prime time. There's no excuses not to dominate this matchup. I don't want to hear that you don't have Brandon Ayuk. I don't want to hear that you don't have potentially Deebo Samuel, although he was a full participant. So now I would be a little surprised if Deebo didn't play in this game, which is crazy considering the guy's recovering from pneumonia, had fluid in his lungs. But I don't want to hear any excuses for the 49ers this week. That was an embarrassing loss last week to what we thought was a rival in the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're not a rival because you don't view them as such. You didn't get up for that game. You got your asses kicked. Didn't even seem to care about it. But this is the Cowboys. There's history here. You've owned this team. You're not the team that's gotten owned like last week against Kansas City. No, you've owned this team. You've been what the Chiefs have been to you, to the Dallas Cowboys. So no excuses to not show up and play pissed off this Sunday night. And I expect them to. Jerry Rice expects them to.
That game was a must win. Now this game coming up, I mean, we got to win this football game. If we don't win this football game, it shows that this team is just going through the motion. And they know the importance of this game coming up. And I don't want to hear this stuff about, hey, this is just another game coming up this week. Oh, no, this is the season. This is the Cowboys. And every game after that, we're going to have to take them, take it one by one. And somehow we got to fight hard. And we still might have a chance of winning the division, get into the playoffs where we can start the season all over again and really, cause some havoc.
Speaking of the division, and Week 8 officially started yesterday in the NFL. That was a hell of a win from the Los Angeles Rams. 30-20 the final over the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Obviously, kind of tainted at the end there. There was a clear face mask on Sam Darnold in the end zone that obviously ended up being a safety called. Game was over. 10-point lead for the Rams. Night, see you later. But that would have given the Vikings some hope. They had plenty of time to try to go down there. Plenty is a stretch maybe, but they had time to try to tie that game up. They got to get a touchdown, 2-point conversion, but they didn't call it. It was a major whiff, gaff, what have you. Rams ended up winning. That was a hell of a performance from Matt Stafford, from Cooper Kupp, from Puka Nacua, from Kyron Williams. That offense just shredded one of the best defenses in the NFC. And they're 3-4 now. Same record as the San Francisco 49ers. They've had their bye. The Rams have life. And I saw this morning that Sean McVay saying, yeah, we expect to keep Cooper Kupp now. That was a season-saving win for Los Angeles yesterday. Now they're a factor again in the NFC West. And that's a problem. So yeah, you can't lose this game to Dallas on Sunday night. You got to keep pace not only with the team winning your division right now, the Seattle Seahawks, but the Arizona Cardinals, who are right there with you, and now again, the Los Angeles Rams. So for all of us thinking that the Niners are going to cruise this season in a down year for the NFC West, I'm not so sure. At least for this week. Because what the Cardinals have shown me in a win against the Chargers, although that was a bad Chargers loss, but still a hell of a win for the Cardinals at home. And now the Rams with that. And then the Seahawks with a nice bounce-back victory last week. The Seahawks got an interesting matchup. They got the Bills this weekend. Very curious how to see that one's going to shake out in Seattle. All of my eyeballs on that. And where will your eyeballs be at 888-957-9570? I hope it's on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union, because that's where we're streaming right now and all day long, getting you ready for this massive game on Sunday Night Football. 49ers, Cowboys. Cowboys coming off a bye at 3-3. Niners 3-4, licking their wounds. Bad loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. You've had a bad loss to the Arizona Cardinals. You've had a bad loss to the Los Angeles Rams. A lot of bad losses. And this one on Sunday, potentially, if you were to lose this, would be the worst. Because I think that little of this Dallas Cowboys team, this isn't the Cowboys of a couple years ago where you had that bloodbath of a divisional round matchup in the playoffs. This is, I don't know what to make of this Cowboys team. They don't do anything particularly well. They're not really good at anything. Not going to take my word for it? Take Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, who joined Willard and Dibbs' word for it yesterday. Kurt, what say you?
I don't think they're very good right now. I don't think there's anything that they do really well, and that becomes a huge part of it, is that not every team can do everything. But if you want to compete in this league, you better be really good at something if that's the case. And Dallas isn't really good at anything.
So then what's the problem here? I'm trying, to conjure up. So, this, you got to be careful against Dallas. Be careful about what? Double cover CeeDee Lamb, force anyone else to beat you. The running game sucks. Stack the box. Get after him. Nick Bosa, I'm looking at you. Leonard Floyd, I'm looking at you. Get after Dak Prescott. Good things will happen. He will throw some picks, take advantage, pound the rock on the opposite end with Jordan Mason, run that play action, get them to bite. I'm expecting a bounce back from Brock Purdy, from Jordan Mason, from that defense. Specifically, that run defense. That was embarrassing last week. It was embarrassing. Kareem Hunt just coming off the scrap heap, just dominating last week. Carson Steele, a rookie, taking you for a ride at times. Patrick Mahomes making fun of his dad bod as he's bodying Malik Mustafa in the end zone. You better have a bad taste in your mouth. So it's Jerry Rice saying this is a gotta have it. That's Kurt Warner saying the Cowboys aren't really good at anything. And Brian Baldinger saying it's a must win.
The 49ers are looking at, are they really going to lose 3 games in a row at home? Are they really going to, is that really going to happen? This is second primetime game right now. It's a big stage. Everybody's going to talk about, poor San Francisco without Debo and Ayuk and McCaffrey. And, this is what you got to do. You got to find a way to win this game.
888-957-9570. Who wins this game and why? Simple question. I love the 49ers big on Sunday night. What say you? Is there still nervous energy, 49ers fans? A lot of scared energy this week and last week when it came to the Kansas City Chiefs. I am not expecting that this week. I'm expecting hatred. I'm expecting pain, a la Clubber Lang, Rocky 3. That's what I'm expecting. From the Xfinity Mobile text line, 888-957-9570. And again, good morning to all you lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Enjoy a lot of the sports. Again, this is an awesome weekend. We got the World Series tonight. I can't wait. I'm going to be locked in, well, somewhat, while watching my kids. I'll try to be locked in. Baseball, just put it on the background, put it on my phone, be chilling. By the way, LA's got a lot going on tonight, don't they? Traffic-wise, yikes. I mean, it's already a Friday in LA, so it's going to be gross. But you got Lakers, Suns. You probably got a couple concerts. You got SC Rutgers. I don't know who's going to that, but someone probably is. You got the World Series. Got a lot going on there. A lot of star power. 415. This is what I wanted. Xfinity Mobile text line. How can you talk so bad of the Cowboys when the Niners have 3 wins also? Because I've at least seen the 49ers do good things this season. I've at least seen them, play up to a standard at times. Now, they've beaten bad teams. The Jets stink. I'm not here to say they don't. The New England Patriots stink. But the Seattle Seahawks, I think, are a good team, decent team. And for most of that game, they dominated them. Up until the end, it got scary. But that was a division rival on the road. And you won that game on primetime. And I think Baldy said second prime. This is like their third primetime game. Because you had Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and now Sunday Night Football. And technically last week was a primetime kind of slot. I know not primetime, but America's Game of the Week. So the Niners have been in the national eye for quite some time. And I've seen what they can do well. I've seen Jordan Mason be a top 5 running back. Hell, at times, other than Derrick Henry, he's looked like the best running back in football. That performance Brock Purdy had against the Los Angeles Rams in a loss was great. I've seen Brock Purdy look really freaking good this year at times. Now, he's coming off his worst performance as a professional of his career. Again, don't take my word for it. Take Kurt Warner's word for it.
I felt like this Chiefs game was maybe the worst game that I've seen him play in his career. And again, I don't want to make a huge statement just on the last game, but he's played so well and been so consistent at making the plays that are in front of him and creating some opportunities within this offense. But I thought he really struggled in this game against the Chiefs, just kind of seeing it, recognizing what they were doing, protecting the football, just some different things. Didn't think he played his best game, but overall on the season, maybe not quite as good as the last couple of years, but again, let's put it into context, right? I mean, the way he's been performing over the last couple of years is as good as we've seen anybody perform on a consistent level. And so this year may be a little bit of a down tick from that, and really you just have to look at the whole team. I think the team isn't playing nearly as consistently well this year as they have in the past.
No, they haven't been, but neither are the Cowboys. And 4-5, that's basically what I'm going to go at here. I think higher of Brock Purdy still than I do of Dak Prescott. I think I think higher of Jordan Mason than I do Ezekiel Elliott. I think Nick Bosa is going to be the best player on defense on both teams this weekend if there is no Micah Parsons. Leonard Floyd, again, just look at the players that are available still for the 49ers. I know the Niners are decimated with injuries still left and right. No McCaffrey, no Brandon Ayuk. It's been tough. No Javon Hargrave. But where the Niners are at still depth-wise compared to the Dallas Cowboys, it's not even close. It's just not. No excuses not to win this game. None. I'm still waiting to hear a sound argument on why the Dallas Cowboys should win this game. Oh, well, they both only have 3 wins. That's not good enough. That's not. Which was the odds are in this game? Let me look at it right now. Niners 4.5 points. It started at, what did it start at? 4? Did it open at 3.5? A lot of money coming in on the Niners, and rightfully so. I don't see a situation in which the Cowboys win this game. I'm trying to find it. Unless Brock Purdy and unless the special teams and unless, the defense gets gashed, that's a lot of things that need to go wrong for the 49ers. Oh, well, the Chiefs are on another level, guys. The Chiefs are the best team in football. They're the best defense in football. They have the best quarterback maybe ever. There's levels to this. The Cowboys are not on that level. They're closer to the Jets than the Chiefs. And what'd you do to the Jets? You handled them. So call it arrogance, call it cockiness, call it whatever you want. I feel great about the 49ers' chances on Sunday. And I'm not biased. I'm not a fan of the team. And maybe that's why there's that scared energy again from the fan base on the Xfinity. Check that, the Comcast Business text line. Stop getting so scared. Cowboys stink. Simple as that. By the way, Ricky Pearsall, I think he's going to have a decent game on Sunday. Greg Cosell thought he looked juicy.
I thought Pearsall running routes looked pretty juicy this week.
Oh.
So he's only going to get better. What that means in terms of production, no one can answer that. But I thought he looked pretty quick running routes. Plus, he's got some physicality to him. There were a couple of times he was pressed, and he ran through the press. So I'm really anxious to see him play more, which he will, obviously, because Ayuk's not there.
Got to be honest, I have no idea what that means. Greg Cosell, our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, joins Willer and Dibbs every Wednesday. And obviously NFL primetime. He's been, been at ESPN for quite some time, breaking down film, best in the business. We got the 2 best film breakers, film experts. Let's just go that in our rotation when it comes to Brian Baldinger and Greg Cosell. And Cosell saying Ricky Pearsall, the rookie, looked juicy last week. Are we talking juicy like a chicken breast, chicken thigh, fresh out of the fryer, little smoke? It's kind of ridiculous, but there's legit expectations of Pearsall now. With the loss of Brandon Ayuk, we'll see what the status of Deebo Samuel. No Juwan Jennings, who's been the 49ers' best wide receiver this season. George Kittle has a foot problem. Expect him to play. He's been fine when he's been out there. More than fine. George Kittle's been pretty good. So we need Ricky Pearsall to step up. We need Jacob Cowings to step up. And that's a lot to ask of rookies. But you know what? Happens every year. Rashee Rice, right? Stepped up as a rookie. You're seeing Xavier Worthy step up as a rookie for Kansas City. We just saw that. You're seeing guys left and right step up as rookies. It's actually been kind of surprising. This rookie class has been pretty damn good, but the guy that was taken first in the skill positions anyways, Marvin Harrison. What's going on there? I don't have him in my fantasy leagues. I'm just following the tea leaves. Him and Kyler not on the same page. I don't know what. I thought he was a slam dunk, and he still might be. Maybe it takes him a little longer. I think we're a little jaded with just how good some guys are right off the gate, like a Brock Bowers, who's been the best tight end in football as a rookie this year, which is kind of nuts. But he was also maybe the best college player. Like, out of even the quarterbacks, even Caleb and Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers might have been that guy during his time at Georgia. You can make the argument, though, for Marvin Harrison. Like, he was that good at Ohio State, and I'm just kind of surprised he's been struggling that much so far this season. I thought his game just translated beautifully. Maybe it still will. It's early. But as we know, and like Bonte likes to say, as Yogi Berra likes to say, sometimes it gets late early. So for the 49ers, let's hope that's not the case and they take care of business on Sunday. Because if they lose this game, if they lose this game, 3-5 heading to the bye week, yeah, there's some major problems. Major. That I didn't even foresee with this team. That's what a loss would look like on Sunday. I don't even care how it happens. It could be a blowout. It could be not blowout. You just lose to the Cowboys in general, that's a problem. It's a problem. It is. A major one. And a major problem right now is the 49ers passing game. And no Ayuk is going to make that even more difficult. No Juwan Jennings is going to make that even more difficult. How do you fix that? How do you gain separation? If you're Ricky Pearsall, if you're Cowings, if you're George Kittle, how are you doing that? Because you're not doing it right now. And right now, Brock Purdy's forcing throws and he's getting intercepted. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Brian Baldinger on the adjustments that Kyle Shanahan has to make.
I would agree with that. I mean, I know Kyle wants to attack the middle of the field. I mean, the throws to Kittle in the middle of the field, he's beaten Justin Reed. And so that's a good matchup right there. So, they got that a couple of times, but, they do a lot of spacing, but a lot of it is seam routes. They're not attacking cover 3 with any sort of double moves on the outside and, post wheel routes that can attack the backside of that cover 3. It's not really what he does. There's some limitations here. I mean, without McCaffrey, which is the ultimate matchup guy, especially against linebackers, they tried to get Juice down the sideline, against Leo Chenal, and Chenal made a great play. It was there. I thought he underthrew Juice a little bit. I thought Juice had a step on him, but I thought he threw a flat ball instead of one that needed a little bit more arc. I think Purdy would agree with that, but allowed Chenal to make that play. But, they didn't get those linebackers, whether it was Tranquil or Chenal. They didn't really get them involved in coverage, and I thought they were trying to do that a little bit more, especially since they played so much 3 linebacker sets in that game. Over 50% of the defensive snaps were with those big linebackers. They were determined to stop the run. They used Bolton as a spy at times on Purdy, but they were really effective using that. And, outside of the one Mason run in the fourth quarter, they really contained the running game all day.
Who's winning Sunday and why? Niners, Cowboys, 888-957-9570. That's the number. Really simple. You just got to win for the Niners. You just got to win. I don't care how it looks. The special teams, by the way, can we make a play? Consistent plays and not give up stupid things? Because who's my guy? Who's the special teams guy over at Dallas? Bones, they call him. Fossil, right? They're going to have something up their sleeve. He always does. That team always does, whether it's a fake, whether it's, some sort of scheme they're doing on a punt return or a kickoff return. I don't know. But I'm tired of watching bad special teams play. I want to pull my hair out. Whether it's a fumble, whether it's just not covering. If I have to watch a kicker for the 49ers attempt another tackle at midfield, I'm going to throw up. I'm just going to throw up. It's sickening. It really is. 888-957-9570. We got a break coming up here. We're going to revamp, retool. 49ers and Brock Purdy. Purdy's been struggling a little bit. Specifically last week, his worst game as a pro. That's what Hall of Famer Kurt Warner said. How does he get back in the groove of things? How does Brock Purdy put 49ers fans at ease this week? Because there's a lot of fans calling for his head after that performance against Kansas City. And I get it. They're the standard. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. It's that defense, Steve Spagnuolo. I get it. You just want to beat that team, but you didn't. You already lost with Jimmy against them, and now you've already lost twice with Brock Purdy against them. It's frustrating, but you're not playing the Chiefs every week. What is a bounce-back performance from Brock Purdy going to look like this week? I'll discuss that on the other side, plus more of your calls, more of your texts, your prediction, who wins Sunday between the 49ers and Cowboys, and why, as the pregame show Joe Spadoni rolls on 95.7 The Game.
How's your home handling hot and chilly weather these days? For a comfortable home, you should consider proper weatherproofing.
listening to the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
Phil Collins Friday, Pregame Show, Joe Spadoni. Let's go. Sing it, Phil. Payday Friday, Football Friday. It's a feel-good Friday. I'm feeling great. Feeling great. Had a great night's sleep. Had a great night in general. Shout out to the person listening right now. You know why I did. You know who did not have a great night down in Los Angeles? Sam Darnold. Brutal no call in that face mask. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit. Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime.
Darnold. Look out. Safety.
With his pressure, remember we said the left side is where this pressure is going to come from. Fisk takes the tackle. Young works through, and he got a hold of something there. Let's see. Yeah, he got that face mask. He sure did.
Yep.
No call there. End of the game. Safety. 10-point Rams win. It was 28-20 at the time. Vikings trying to tie the game late, trying to send it to overtime. They would have gotten better field position where they were at. They started at the 5-yard line there. They had an incomplete pass. And then that safety, they would have been at least at the 20-yard line. You never know what could happen. You have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, busted play. I'm not going to say they were going to win the game, but that's a brutal no call in that situation. And that call right there, that non-call, I should say, might have just saved the Los Angeles Rams season, their future. Cooper Kupp looks like he's going to stay now. They're 3-4. They're feeling good. They feel like, hey, you know what? We can win this division. We're not out of it. You got Puka Nacua. You got Kyron Williams, who's looking just, guy scores a touchdown every single week. Guy's been absolutely balling for my fantasy team because I know all of you care about that. Matt Stafford dicing up that Flores defense was incredible. Jonathan in San Jose, I'll get to you in a second, but let's hear from the head coach yesterday, Kevin O'Connell from the Minnesota Vikings, on that no face mask call on Sam Darnold there late.
It looked like he got a pretty good amount of face masks there. Not going to get into the call or no call and all that stuff. It's just, I told our team, officiating and all that stuff, like, for us to talk about that, for us to seek comfort in that is not how we're going to respond to this. It's just not going to happen. And I'm going to do the same thing right now. I really don't have a comment on whether it looked like he got a piece of the face mask, but they didn't think so they didn't throw the flag.
I love that response from the head coach. I love that response from Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, I'm not, what's it going to do? I'm just going to feed into that and just let it just eat at you for the next week and a half and this little mini buy that we're about to go on. I'm not going to do that. And he's not. He's not going to make any excuses. The fact that it got to that point anyways and it was about a no call there, the team shouldn't have been in that situation. If we took care of business early on in the game, it wouldn't have come down to that, but it did. But we're not going to cry about it. Love that. I also love Jonathan in San Jose, who's joined the pregame show right now, 888-957-9570. The question is, who is winning this Sunday between the 49ers and Cowboys, and why? I love the 49ers. I love them big. I don't have any faith in the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. I don't know what they do well. I don't know what they hang their hat on. I don't see it, Bob, to quote Matt Steinmetz. What's up, Jonathan? You're on the pregame show.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Phil Collins Friday.
Thank
I'm
God.
with you, Spadoni. I woke up feeling good. I woke up feeling great. And you know why? Because I'm a Niners fan and not a Cowboys fan. Listen, both teams are down bad, right? We're not doing as well as we thought we were. That's Cowboys every season, though, right? And I want to tell you, between being a Cowboys fan and a Niners fan, I choose Niners fan every single time. You know what I mean? And so the difference here, though, we have Brock Purdy, not Prescott. We have Nick Bosa. Who do they have? I know they got Michael Parsons, but did you say he's not playing this Sunday?
Yeah, it's not looking like Micah's going to play this week.
So what are we doing, Niner fans? Let's get excited. I know it's PTSD from last Sunday. That's the Chiefs, like you were saying, Spadoni. This is the Cowboys. This is our game. This is our wake-up game. I have a feeling like Brock Purdy is going to listen to everything that has gone wrong last Sunday, and we're going to see a different Brock Purdy on Sunday. I know Kyle's plays haven't been working in the first couple of games. Well, these are the next couple of games. We got a bright future, Spadoni. Like you said, it's a great Friday. Let's get positive, people. The Cowboys are going down. Let's go, Niners.
Let's go. That's Jonathan in San Jose. See, come on. Positive energy, positive vibes right now. Feeling great. Niners, you know, for as much as we wanted to have the doom and gloom of that loss to Kansas City, and trust me, I'm a Raider fan. The Chiefs will do that to you. I'm expecting them to dominate. I'm expecting DeAndre Hopkins this week, by the way. He's wearing number 8, and I guess for Kobe, he's going to dominate this week. He'll have 2 touchdowns. It's just what happens. They dominate. They do. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, they do that to everyone. 49er fans, they do that to the Ravens. They do that to the Bills. They do that to very good teams. So don't feel too bad about that one loss, all right? Because I know a win against the Cowboys and getting back to 500, that could change a season, potentially. Maybe you get Christian McCaffrey back. Maybe you get Juwan Jennings back, all right? And then you'll take your chances. But I do think the sense of dread over this season, a lot of it stems from that Super Bowl loss, and I get it. All offseason, we talked about how hard it's going to be, to get back. This is the year, right? This is our Super Bowl window. So with every loss, it feels more and more excruciating because you feel like that season is slipping away. That Super Bowl trophy is slipping away. That's why we love the NFL. That's why it's so much different than Major League Baseball. That's why it's so much different than NBA basketball, because every single loss is magnified times 1,000. But every single win is the same thing. You get a win this week against Dallas, heading into your bye, the mentals are so much better for your quarterback, for your head coach, for your fan base, for everybody. Absolutely. Speaking of the quarterback, Brock Purdy, this is what he leans on when he has a bad game. Spoke to the media yesterday about it.
Obviously, I know who I am and what my foundation's built on. So, for me, go through some tough games and games that you really want to win for the guys that you're playing with, the fan base, everything. Like, you take pride in that, in the position that you're playing. But at the same time, it's all, for me, I look at it as, man, this is all about growth and putting my faith in God and understanding that this whole thing's a process. I'm not going to get the result right now and then. I got to work for it and grow. And maybe he's preparing me and our team for something down the road. And so that's how I'm looking at it. That's the hope that I have. But more than anything, that also pushes me to, be on top of my stuff today and push the guys around me, bring up the young guys, and continue to chip away every day at our process. We lost last week. We're not where we want to be. And but we understand that we have what it takes, and we just got to keep going one day at a time. And that's the faith that I have in.
Got to have faith. He's going George Michael there. Faith in JC. That's what he's doing. Brock Purdy, he's not phased. He's got God. There you go. Here's more from Brock talking about, and this is interesting. And maybe we could pick this up on the other side, because this was a conversation too in regards to the Kyle Shanahan passing offense looking a little vanilla. You've heard it from Brian Baldinger. You've heard it from Jay Gruden. You've heard it from a lot of offensive guys saying the 49ers passing game is not as complex as others. In fact, it's a little more vanilla. Obviously, he's a run-first team. The zone running scheme, that's all the Shanahans, that's what they love to do. And they build off of that. But when it comes to, passing to get yourself back into a game, sometimes it's a little more difficult. And here's Brock talking about audibling at the line and rarely having to do that.
Usually we just have an answer built into the play. And so if we do have an all-out blitz or something, we usually have an answer of where I should be hitting or where I should be going. And there's very rare occasions where we walk up to the line and we get a look and it's, oh, shoot, they got us. And then I'm supposed to randomly make up an audible. There's nothing like that. We usually always have an answer for pressures, all-out blitz, and things like that. So that's on me to get to the right guy.
Well, you didn't have the answers last week to the test. You studied for the economics final, but your textbook said it was organic chemistry. That's what it looked like. It wasn't good enough. Whether it was Spagnuolo and the different schemes he throws out, very complex system, the blitz packages, things are different. I get it. He's the best at what he does. The personnel for Kansas City, they're the best in the league for a reason. But you got punked last week. Expect a different outcome this next week. And the answers to the test right now, I hope you got the right spark notes as I go all these different analogies. Shout out high school. There you go. Still calling Wikipedia. People can change that stuff, all right? Just be careful and never cite Wikipedia. Never. It's not a good look. What are those things called? The bibliographies. Remember that? You had to cite all your sources at the end? Ah, God. So glad I'm not in school anymore. 888-957-9570 is the number. We got one more segment before handing it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. They got Mike Tirico, 720. Cannot wait for that, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. So, who's going to win on Sunday and why? Jonathan loves the Niners. 888-957-9570. Who's winning and why between the Niners and Cowboys? We'll wrap up this conversation and hand it off to the Morning Roast next on 95.7 The Game.
7 the game.
Thanks, Pods. It's apropos. Jamski. It's a Polish last name. Assuming. Polish national team jersey right now on YouTube. You can see it. Phil Collins Friday, Football Friday. It's a feel-good Friday. I'm feeling fantastic. We got Sam Lubman in the building. We got Joe Shasky in the building. We got Bonte Hill in the building. Just feeling great. It's a Friday. Good vibes all around. I had In-N-Out Burger last night. Double, animal style. I had the raw onions, chopped chilies. Got a shake. Got an iced tea. Got an animal fry. I'm feeling good. Feeling fantastic. I only slept for like 5 hours too, but you know, there's just some nights where you have a good night's sleep, and that was one of them last night. Just feeling good.
Hey, Spadoni, shut up.
Hey, Goo fella, I see Goo yesterday, and the first thing he says to me, you hurt my feelings yesterday, Spadoni. I'm going to bring it up on air. That's all he said. You hurt my feelings. I was like, what'd I do? Then he brings it up that, you know, Steiny, Bonte, and I, we're all just kind of poking fun at, oh yeah, you know, the star players, they don't get hurt or they play through adversity. We were just making fun because Goo was out. Shasky was at his studio in San Francisco because he wasn't feeling well. He's back though. It was just poking fun. Goo did not like that though. Goo was not a fan. He was not. Love you though, Goo. I know he listens. Goo listens to the pregame show. He does. Some of the hosts here say they do. I know Shasky listens. I know Bonte listens because they kind of have to when they're driving in. Although Bonte likes to say he turns it off all the time. Not because of the takes, just because he thinks I'm being a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm picking the Niners to win this week. I can't be a hater for that. I think they're going to win big. Huge. I do. It's a must win, too. Again, Jerry Rice, the GOAT, greatest of all time. Thought it was embarrassing, that loss last week. Embarrassing.
They should feel embarrassed. That was a statement game yesterday. Yeah. That was an important game, and I know, we were 3-3, and and we needed that win. And I heard people saying that, hey, we just gonna look at this as another game. It was more than just another game. Richard Sherman and I, we were talking about that, man. It's like sometimes you just got to, just put on the boxing gloves. Yeah. I just wanted somebody to start a fight yesterday. I just wanted to see something like that.
You wanted a fight. I'm not saying there's going to be a fight this weekend and this Sunday night at Levi's Stadium, but there's going to, maybe in the stands anyways and in the parking lot, but don't condone that. Don't be stupid. But I want some testiness. I want some edginess to the 49ers this Sunday that I haven't seen all season long. I want some tension in the air as we're going Phil Collins on Phil Collins Friday. I can feel it coming in the air today. I need some animosity, some anger, some hatred happening because that's what football is. All right? You feed on those emotions. And no, you don't let them consume you as I go Star Wars here. You can't let them fully consume you. But they're a part of you. I know George Kittle's going to be up for this game. He hates the Cowboys. He understands what this means. But does Brock Purdy? Does Ricky Pearsall? Those guys? I need everyone bought in. And again, there's not going to be any pregame speeches that need to be done. If you need a pregame speech for Niners and Cowboys, that's a problem. I'm looking at Fred Warner to have a huge game. I'm looking at Nick Bosa to have a huge game. Looking at this defense in general to have a bounce back game. And I didn't think they were bad on Sunday. I just don't. I mean, they held Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, to 14 points through 3 quarters. I was feeling fine. Now, the dam got broken there late, but you know what? You held on as long as you could. The offense just wasn't picking up the slack. Just wasn't. Complementary football has been eluding this team all season long in the 3 phases. Special teams, defense, offense. Can they play a full and complete game this Sunday for once? That's what I'm looking at. No mistakes in special teams. You do your job on defense, and you score consistently on offense. Can the 49ers do that this Sunday? I think they do. For the first time all season, outside of that Jets game, really, I think they play complementary football. I do. And what is going on with the special teams? Brian Schneider, the head coach there, if they have another bad game this week, maybe he's gone during the bye week. Who knows? I don't know. The love that Shanahan has for this guy, he's very loyal, I guess. Brian Baldinger, what's going on with the special teams?
They give us a 14-12 game until McCall Hardman, returned that punt.
Oh, gosh.
Their special teams are a joke. It's just a joke. I put a thing out there this morning. I showed 4 special team gaffes this year, whether it's kickoff return for a touchdown, long, punts, punt blocks, you name it. Like, it just can't keep happening right now. It's atrocious. And field position is everything in these games. That's a 14-12 game. That field position gets flipped on that McCall Hardman, return, and next thing you know, they take the lead. So, like, you got to tighten that up. That's got to get fixed.
It's got to get fixed. It's got to get fixed. Shout out to SPCA and all the fixing that they do. 888-957-9570 is the number. From the Comcast Business Text line, who's winning this Sunday and why? Cowboys, Niners. No fried mustard, bro? 805. I don't know what that means. Fried mustard. Oh, well, isn't that what the animal style already is? I get animal style. They do that already when they do the fried mustard on the In-N-Out burger. Animal style. I add the raw onions on top of the chopped onions that's already there, the caramelized ones, and then you go chop chilies. Little heat. You got to get a little heat in there. All right, it's a little advice there. You can get them on the side too. You can get them chopped chilies on your animal fries as well if you want to go double heat. Now, I'm a gringo, so my body rejects it a little bit later on, but in the moment, I enjoy it. Absolutely. I do. Sure. What's your In-N-Out burger combo? 888-957-9570. I'm feeling good. That'll get the Comcast Biz text line jumping. Go Neapolitan shake. I can go for one of those right now. I'm not going to lie. This schedule, I always talk about it, and Shasky and Lubman and Bonte understand. Your food eating habits getting up this early is just all out of whack. It just is. I don't think I eat normal like breakfasts in a like throughout the week. I'm eating Doritos sometimes at 8 a.m. Doritos for breakfast. The normal thought of that is gross, but it's just like sometimes just craving the nacho cheese, Now, if we had the spicy nacho, I'd be even more happy. That's the GOAT of the Dorito chips. Not even close. Not even close. I need to work out today. All this talk of food. It's just been lazy this week. Been tired. Been lazy, but not today. Not today. I'm feeling great. Maybe it is the World Series starting today in Los Angeles, La La Land. I got a couple minutes here. I think I'm going Dodgers. I think they've had the harder path. I think they're the better team. I just think it's their year. I do. Shohei Ohtani's first year in La La Land. I know that'll make Giants fans sick and disgusted. And they finally have a real championship that you can't tear down. Although, someone had to win it that year, and they were one of the best teams. They've been one of the best teams in baseball. I don't look at the banner the bubble title differently than others, but it's fine if you want to. If that makes you feel better about yourself and your struggles as a fan base the last decade plus. Sure. But I just think it's the year of Shohei Ohtani. He's going to win MVP. Is he going to win World Series MVP? I don't know. What are the odds on Tommy Edman winning the World Series MVP? That's the one. That one. He was the NLCS guy. I feel like that rarely happens, though, back-to-back series where that happens. I need to look at that. Let's see. Major League Baseball. Let's go to some of these props here. All right. Awards right here. All right. World Series MVP odds. You got Judge at plus 400. The favorite's Shohei. Then you got Juan Soto, Stanton, Mookie, Muncy. Edmonds there at plus 2,500. Garrett Cole, Teoscar Hernandez. That's the guy. Bang for your buck. Or I'd go Kike. Both at plus 2,800. I like the value there of those guys. Hell, Freddie Freeman, and I get it. He hasn't been amazing. He's battling injuries. Plus 3,500. Not mad at that. Then you start going to some pitchers. If you think a pitcher is going to dominate in 2 games, if it's going to go 7 games, you got Carlos Rodon plus 6,000, another Giants legend. You got a lot of Giants kind of, not narratives, but paths that were crossed with the San Francisco Giants organization in this one. Players that you thought you wanted or you thought you could have had that didn't end up coming to the orange and black. Stanton, remember that? Arson Judge, remember that? Carlos Rodon for a year, remember that? You got Max Muncy, the hated Max Muncy, Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, who are Giants fans. Is Juan Soto coming to the orange-black next year? Huh? Is he? No, exactly. No, he's getting $1 bajillion from the Yankees this year. Teoscar Hernandez is a guy you probably could have gotten. That's the one where you should be shaking your head, be like, we couldn't have offered this guy more money to come here. He's gotten a fat payday after this year, and rightfully so. He's been amazing for LA. Amazing. Got a minute 30 here, so I'm going Dodgers. I'm going to go Dodgers in 6. How about that? Why not? Sam Lubin, what are you going? Real quick, who do you got?
Yankees.
In what?
However many it takes.
Oh, there you go. He's hoping for a sweep. He's hoping in 3 games, actually, if that could even be a possibility.
You just do it in 1. Just win tonight, and then it's like, that's good enough. Yankees win.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they were playing the A's, it would have been over, in 1 game, because that's just what happens. Lock that in. 1 game. God. By the A's haven't changed their social media. They still are the Oakland A's, which is fascinating to me. Mason Miller, by the way, shout out him. AL Rookie of the Year for the Sporting News. Whatever that means. That's not like the official one, I don't think. But he deserves it. I mean, he's been incredible. I think a lot of people are saying, Colton Cowser, an everyday player. Mason Miller, outside of Emmanuel Clase, most exciting and most electric pitcher in baseball this year. I don't even think it's close. His story, unbelievable. His stuff, even more unbelievable. Love me some Mason Miller, and I love me some Morning Roast. Come get a taste of that next. Mike Tirico, 720 with Bonte and Joe Shasky. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live.